Good morning, everyone. It's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It was All-Star weekend. Ooh, there was some chirping about the All-Star game and everything that's going on, but that's okay. If we can talk about that, that means life is okay. Good to be back. It was a winning weekend for the Michigan State Spartans, and I bring that up. I'll be seeing Coach Izzo in a few hours and talking to some of the players about him being Mr. 354, winning his 354th Big Ten game, making him the all-time leader in Big Ten victories. And the reason why I bring this up because our topic today is be where your feet are. Be where your feet are. And this is who is this morning? Good morning, Michelle Mimi Watkins. Happy President's Day. So good to hear from you today. Always on time, supporting the platform. I appreciate it so much. We're talking about being where your feet are. And like I always say, my topics come from either the headlines of my personal life. But in this particular case, speaking of Michigan State, I was over there just the other day, and I got my brother Kevin Marshall more than the Coach podcast page representing on the YouTube page. Good morning, my brother. How you doing, man? Sometimes the athletes can be some of the most insightful people. And I remember sitting down with Jeremy Frizz Jr., the floor general. Shout out to Jeremy. He always got a nice quotable for me. And I was asking him about leadership in the past few weeks and how things have changed. So I'll give you a quick clip from our conversation that will be the topic of today's Monday.
Talk about leadership and what your mindset on leadership has grown to, present day. I know things have been moving kind of fast, but, just even over the past few weeks, what has it been like for you?
Just really, enjoy the moment, enjoy the day. Just be where your feet are. You can't really control what you can't control. Control what you can. Just help everyone, no matter what's going on, whether I'm playing good, I'm playing bad, I'm having a good day, bad day. Just try to help someone else and help them and help their day.
Great.
He dropped it right there. He talked about being where your feet are. I think that's really important. That's good to get back. That's my motto, says Mayor Ron Bacon. Let's go. Good morning, good brother. How you doing? I hope all is well. I'm glad that touched on you. Be on your feet. Be where your feet are. Easier said than done, right, Ron? Easier said than done. But we're going to talk about that today, no doubt, being where your feet are. Spending too much time planning, problem solving, daydreaming, or thinking of negative or random thoughts can be draining. It can also make you more likely to experience stress, anxiety, and symptoms of depression. Practicing mindfulness exercise can help you direct that attention away from this kind of thinking and engage with the world around you. That's really important. There was a songwriter that had a song, and he talks about zooming through the universe. Feels like we're bouncing off of light waves. I bounce so hard, sometimes it hurts. Every time I think I'm stuck, the sun moves along and my shadow gets up. If you're lost, relax and be where your feet are. In this song, Be Where Your Feet Are, John Mraz tries to help his fans remember how to stay grounded when life feels overwhelming. While his tone is playful, this message is serious. Learning how to be where your feet are can be a helpful tool when it comes to living in the moment with anxiety and depression. Anxiety and depression can take you out of the present. And what is anxiety? Anxiety is when you worry too much about things that haven't happened. And depression, respectfully, is when you're caught up with things that have happened in the past. Not saying it's easy. I came to this topic, and the reason why Jeremy's comments stood out to me because at the time, Ron can relate to this, Michelle can relate to this, that when you're proactive doing a lot of things, sometimes when you kind of just thinking, you got so many things going on in your mind, and it can really get you going because you're thinking about what's next in the future. And so many times we miss being where your feet are. There's such power in being where your feet are, such power that even they're trying to share this with young people. And these type of coloring books, a mindful activities companion to help the young people get along. I think that's important when you simplify it. And when we talk about mindfulness, which is the practice of being where your feet are, is a type of meditation in which you focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interpretation or judgment. Practicing mindfulness involves breathing methods, guided imagery, and other practice to relax the body and the mind and help reduce stress. This is important. In this go society, we're always moving, always going, always trying to make a move. We got our phone, our social media got us locked into so many things. It's important to try to step away to keep them and be where your feet are. I got my brother Aaron Mays. Good morning, brother. Hope you're doing well out here, Aaron. All is well, man. You should feel good about those Spartans, man, and what they got going on as well, man. Aaron is my guy. I've been doing this thing, and it's good that you're getting a chance to check in. There he is right here. There you go. What's up, Aaron? How old is this picture, Aaron? How old is this picture, man? I mean, hey, I got on a cap, so couldn't have been. I mean, I was outside doing football season, so that's going on the fall, brother. But it's good to see you, man. But we're out here, but it's really important, guys, because I think we all have this attitude that we want to go, we want to accomplish things, we want to handle our business, but sometimes it can be so overwhelming. So being where your feet are is important. It's important to kind of take a step back, because even that comment I just shared about the mindfulness aspect is really important in the sense that it lets us kind of get a control of things and kind of step back. I saw another quote on social media, thought this was pretty good. He says, we can get so focused on the future, we forget that the version of the present is most of what we visualized a year ago. Keep going. You know, that's so true. We can be so worried and not realize that where we are right now in many cases is where we wanted to be a long time ago. Where you are right now is what you prayed for, what you said, Lord, if you let this happen, I'll never do that bad thing again. Remember all those prayers you made? Well, maybe that was just me, right? But we have to remind ourselves of that. We can get so far gone. Aaron says about 3 years now. Oh, my God. Well, let's be thankful for our 3 years of friendship, man. But time goes, man. We keep saying we're going to do something, and we have to do it, man. You know we will get an updated photo for the files, man. It'd be good to sit down with you. That was a little Teresa's action a while again. That'd be cool. So what I just want to say, folks, is to Jeremy Fear's point, and look what they did. At the time, Michigan State had lost a huge game at home against Indiana, where Coach Izzo had the opportunity to become the all-time winningest coach in the Big Ten and beat Robert Montgomery Knight, Bobby Knight, that is record. It's so funny. I say that as my mother comes on. Good morning, mother. She says, good morning, son. The reason why I say Robert Montgomery Knight is an ode to my late brother, Sean Huddleston, because when we would talk about Bobby Knight, we would be in our Dick Vitale voice, go, Robert Montgomery Knight. So every time I say that, that's shouting out my brother Huddy Boo. Man, you rest in peace, brother. Rest in power as well. But folks, again, mother, good morning on this President's Day. We have so many things going on when we're proactive in doing that, and it's so easy. But to get back to where your feet are, and the reason Jeremy comments were so strong because they end up going on the road to a hostile Illinois crowd that they only beat by a few points before when they played them at Michigan State, and to go on the road with that looming. That's one of the questions I want to ask Coach Izzo today. Like, how do you think your team felt when they could not give you that win at home in front of that home crowd as much as they wanted to? My brother Kevin Marshall shouts out Coach Izzo. Congrats, Coach Izzo, the GOAT. Yeah, he's the all-time leader in the Big Ten wins, Kevin, no doubt. He used to be first one to say, well, he played, he coached longer than Bobby Knight and all those things. He's humble about it, but he sure was emotional when that win came through. But folks, what I'm just trying to emphasize in the time that I have was that we have to focus on being where our feet are. And let me tell you how it works for me. When I talked about how Jeremy's comments were really kind of right on point with me, I was getting a little overwhelmed with the things I had going. But when I took that approach and I stepped back a little bit, it allowed me to put so many things into focus. It allowed me to find a level of productivity that I didn't really have at the time. But also, it really had me give an appreciation for what I was accomplishing, for where I was at. Going back to this comment, we can get so focused on the future, we forget that this version of the present is most of what we visualized years ago. Keep going. And that gave me a level of peace. Also, too, I think it's worth saying, I like this. You got to act like you're blessed, talk like you're blessed, walk like you're blessed, think like you're blessed, smile like you're blessed. And that's another thing you can do when you are where your feet are, when you can sit right here. Because, see, we won't give ourselves that acknowledgement of being blessed when we're like, man, I'm not accomplishing this goal that I had set out. Oh, how am I going to do this? What about these things? Or remember when that happened? See, those type of things take you out of the present moment. It take you out of your power when you start focusing like that. You have to be focused on getting right here. I got Carol Bay Bush in the building. Good morning, Bay. Good to see you. Hope all is well. I know you covering all those games as we get into this playoff time. I know shout out to Detroit Renaissance for winning the PSL championship. I don't know if you made it over there last night. Your son, former Mr. Basketball's alma mater, King High School, was the runner-up. But I appreciate you, Bay, and all that you're doing going forward. We're going to keep it together, keep it locked in. She said, all is well. She says, all is well. When you see Bay Bush, you got to smile. I'm sure we'll be coming in contact soon. Guys, try to be where your feet are. Easier said than done, I know. But here's some things I want to share with you that may be helpful going forward. Be completely present, whatever you're doing. I know. I say I do this. Oh, you was there? You said she was in the build. I should have known you was there. Heard it was a good game. I saw the score coming down to it. But it's always a good thing when our young people can come together and show their abilities. Now, Be completely present, whatever you're doing. I say that, but then I pick up this phone when I'm doing something, when I'm texting, when I'm talking to my daughter on FaceTime. She used to get on me. She'd go, Daddy, what are you doing? I was like, all right, let me get it together. But make the effort to try to be completely present in what you're doing. You can have a greater appreciation. We talk about this multitasking, but that's not always the best thing, especially when you have people that you want to make sure that they're important to you while you're coming in contact with them and dealing with them. Also, focus on what's most important to you and forget the rest. Now, check out that. What are you focused on? What's important to you? Got my mother that came in to say good morning, but I told her last night, I said, Mom, I love you to death, but that daughter of mine, that's my priority. I love my mom too. If I put things first like that, my family, all those other things seem to fall in place. So focus on what's most important to you, right? Also, another thing you can do, think of it like this. This is a tough one, but hey, work with me on this. Failure is guaranteed, so fail productively. Lindsay, what you mean failure is guaranteed? You're supposed to be positive. What do you mean? No, when you start out doing something, it may not happen the way you want. And I'm not saying failure means that you're quitting, you're done, but hey, how do you build upon this? I've had things that I've put a presentation out or reached out to somebody or tried to do something, and it may not have been accepted, it may not have been received, but I took those same elements and I built upon that. Or somebody says, well, can you send me this? I'm like, oh, bet I can see that because I worked on that before. You know, don't get so caught up in the word failure. Get caught up in understanding that, hey, if you're trying to do something, just know that it's going to be a process to get through it. Huh? You want all this greatness, it's not just going to happen like that. But if you can be present in the moment, you can be appreciative of what you achieve. Well, let's go back to the comment I made earlier that where you are now isn't where you were a year ago. And the things that you have now, you were hoping and praying for at one point. Michelle Mimi Watkins comes in and said, failures is the bricks to success. Let's get bricked up, right? 6 Mile Brick Mile. We got to represent for the hometown. I'm a 7 Mile guy myself representing Detroit. But you're right. Failures are the bricks to success. But people don't want to look at it like that. We've got this idea that based on what we see, the images and what we hear, that failure is not a part of this life we live. We got Tamara Hunt Williams this morning. She says, I like, how do I build on this? Right. Hey, how do I build on this? That's a great attitude to have. You know, that also has a lot to do with the people in your circle. Look at me. I can get up this morning. I could be so motivated by these great individuals on this timeline, all positive people. But you got to have people in your corner who will be like, oh, man, okay, well, what's your next move? As opposed to saying, man, you shouldn't even have done that. Or, girl, you know, why'd you think that was going to work? It's like, how do you build upon this? But see, if you stay present in the moment, these are attitudes you can have. These are characteristics you can start to put into your life, into your world. If you could be where your feet are. Shout out to Jeremy Fears Jr. again. That's really important. Tamara, so good that you're checking in. I appreciate that. Also, too, what else do we have? We can talk about assume everyone has good intentions. Now, I had to have some prayer, some self-prayer before I committed to that. Because what do we say? Hey, man, assume the worst, right? Assume the worst. But here's the thing. I would never tell anyone to put themselves in a situation where they can be set up that somebody can take advantage of, right? Again, I said 7 Mile, right? I'm representing from the home. Well, nothing but game, right? So all kind of stuff going on. You got to be up on it. And everyone else can have this kind of thing too. But what I do want to say, why this is important to think about, assume everyone has good intentions because it keeps you in a positive mindset, right? Because if you have the assumption that people have negative intentions, look what you have to carry. It's like you walking around with that meme with your fist balled up all the time, right? However, assume they have good intentions until something comes up that's contrary to that, and then you treat it accordingly. But if you assume they have good intentions, when the phone rings, you pick up, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, what you need? And then they on something different. You're like, oh, man, we can't do that, or that won't work. Compared to like, oh, what they want. Look how you kind of created that negative attitude that you got to carry, right? I don't got to walk around uptight because you might be on something. Want to check my other guy, Tino. Good morning, Lindsay Hudson. Tino's in the building. How you doing, Tino? Got to see some games, man. We got to get out there, man. Tino, I appreciate you. I'm going to be down at your former employer, the University of Michigan, this Friday. That's right. When Michigan State takes on Michigan for the in-state rivalry, SPS will be in the building. See what Dusty May got popping down there in Wolverine country. I know one person on my timeline who was pro. Well, 2 people we know for sure. Well, I got 3 Michigan folks here. I got Coach Kevin. Marshall, I know you a Michigan man. Tino, hey, Michigan man, hey, paying for that retirement that you living good. And my mother. She said I don't talk about that, but my mother is like, hey, y'all, don't mess with my Michigan, but we go see what's going on. SPS will be in the building. Last thing I want to say with the time that we have, guys, final thing is be patient and trust the process. I know it's a cliche term, but take your time, be patient, be where your feet are, and you can make a major impact. I want you guys to go on, have a great day today. Enjoy this holiday. Enjoy some time off if you have it. And my mother says, oh, yes, that is correct. There's going to be some talking going on soon. I'm going to get out of here, guys, and I'll talk to you in a minute.